Okay, so everything looks to be all set up properly. So last time on stream, I added bee enemies to the woods that basically would hang out near their hive spawn tree, um, and then chase you for a bit if you get too close. Also added some woods platform. Offline focused on visual stuff. I have like a round of visual upgrades I want to do. I'd say I'm like 70-80% done. We still need to make the UI look better. Uh, More carefully placed lighting and item effects and just like programmatic effects in general. I don't like the swirly bubble I have around the shop. I want it to be more pixely. Um, those effects are really sloppy. And I also added backgrounds, which are doing a lot of work, especially in the woods level. Here, I'll actually hop in there. Oh, I'm already in. Cool. So here for the meadow, wasn't really sure. In general, I think it's more challenging to think of good ideas for vertical, like parallax implied depth. So I just threw some like Tetris clouds in there to have something. And it definitely looks better than before. I also made the background noisier. It's like reapplying some noise texture as a color offset. So it's definitely an improvement on the background, but I don't think this is like good enough to be fine. Uh-oh, I'm being chased. I don't think it's good enough to be final. So here in the shop, this is what I mean by that effect. This effect here, the shop bubble, and this effect here are both like probably the shield as well. Although I don't know if I'm gonna keep the shield. I probably will, but only one shield. But anyway, these effects are like too squishy, if you know what I mean. Like they should be more discreet, more pixely, to better match everything else that's going on. Oh, I might die. For the little bits of time it is on screen, the thorn wall should look nicer. It's using the same grow technology as the vines and the sidewalls and stuff to have just like a chaotic bramble of thorns down there, filling up the space under the thorn wall. So you might notice the background color and the background particles both dynamic. So is getting progressively rainier as we get closer to the boss here. Let's see if there's anything good to get, because the bosses are still probably. Oh yeah, health. So health is bugged. Where like when you first get it, it checks if it should heal you, right? Because like, oh, if you, I don't know, I guess it's not always the case, but sometimes when you get like a max HP increase, that also heals you for the amount you gained. And so that's set up like that, this in here. But the way the item stuff works is it basically, it's a brand new player in every level, but it like rolls you a new, it remembers what the previous player was like and then adds the stuff. And adding the health items includes that initial heal again. We got the Burrower Arena here. I think pretty nicely improved in decoration. Ah, dang it. Using the foliage stuff we set up like a week and a half ago. Also using the new tile set. These vines, this undervine, this overvine, that's a new addition from the previous week. Expanded the like foliage available to spawn. So I don't think these vines spawn anywhere in the main game right now. They only, like, decorating the burrower level here was like the proof of concept that I had added these new vines correctly. Oh, I just barely got him. Especially if I make the little spikes also dash blocking. it is gonna be... Ooh, that... I guess it is consistent that... if you think these bursts are like boss attacks, then it makes sense that they're not stopped by... Oh my god, this is way too hard. I was at like full health, and I have a shield, although the shield has missed a couple times. I don't think the shield works with dash break stuff, but that's gonna be something I take a look at when I review like improving the items, which will probably be a part of the UI as well, since the items with like the shop and got him. God damn, it's so hard. Okay, so got through the burrower onto the woods. Here we got these vertical background trees we can use rather than the clouds. And I think they look a lot better. The way like the little like the side things come off here works really well with verticality. Also just the fact that they have this like saw texture, like back and forth or whatever, makes sells differences in vertical movement. Wood's still pretty underdeveloped. We probably won't see bees in here, even though there's one platform that can spawn bees. It's only one, and I think it can only spawn in the beginning. So yeah, we need more woods platforms, and we need one more enemy type in the woods, and that's gonna be a wall-following spider that if it's above you is gonna drop down at you. That's one way, because the core problem is making the one-way platforms dangerous if all the enemies have to originate from the solid platforms. And if there's a spider up here that can threaten, I guess not anymore, but that can threaten this platform, or this one, this jump is now threatened by a potential spider walking around. That's just furthering that goal of spreading out the threats more evenly, despite them starting. Oh, here's some bees, so yeah, they chase you for a bit. This is all the way to the right, which makes it less likely to actually come into play. But I just did that because it would be the first one. I would, for later on woods platforms, you would have this much more out towards the center, which should accomplish a similar goal of threatening the center, or threatening the non-solid parts. Alright, let's try and no bugs that I've noticed so far, except some shield bugs, but like I know shield is pretty in a pretty intermediate state. It was worked on a very long time ago, and we're doing like a broad item rework anyway, so I think with a shield would probably going down to just one shield. Already in the game, like functional, there are a bunch, well I guess like semi-functional without bugs or whatever, but there are a bunch of like conditional shields. But there are a bunch of conditional shields like dang, got me. Oh, I'm getting blasted. I don't think I'm taking down this bee queen. She's not even 50%. Time stop is pretty good for this. It stops her orbit. So you can dash her way sooner, but I've just been too careless along the way. Oh, like that. It's still alright, it's not still technically possible. But yeah, I didn't notice any bugs there, so that's cool. But I don't wanna... I think it's good to go through that a little bit, but I feel like sometimes taking too much of my time, and then I don't get to my to-do list as much. So we're gonna have one full playthrough there from level 1 to the second boss. Um, and no major problems noticed, or no active problems, no new problems. Okay, so like I was talking about, main thing, adding spiders to the woods. Uh, the test level stuff, I think, has not been like modernized with the level spawning changes, so there might be some work to do there. But we're gonna set up a test level just because I don't want to have to worry about like, oh, will the spiders spawn, or like, oh, I'm being chased by the thorns or whatever. Nah, nah. Like I need to be able to take all the time I want to debug this to make sure I got it right. Because there is an existing wall follow script. It just has some problem that I don't know. I remember it would sometimes lose track of the wall, like it would lose more and more wall over time, which would eventually lead to it becoming detached from the wall. Um, so I'm gonna see if I can find the problem in that. If not, before the stream I reviewed like someone else's implementation just to like see, okay, like how roughly should this be accomplished. I'm not sure the extent to which this existing implementation matches that other one I looked at, but yeah, we'll see. Um, Once it's consistently, like over long periods of time, not getting detached from the wall, definitely following the wall, we'll add in the behavior to drop off the wall if the player is under them. Um, and then when we have like the full behavior we want, I guess I should add one here that's like set up prefab. We'll stick those new behavior scripts in a prefab. And then we will connect that prefab to our existing spawn box system, and we will add some of those spider spawn boxes to the woods. And then with any time left, we're just gonna work on woods platforms, like newly including spiders and bees. Cause I guess my hesitation in going too hard into making woods platforms before was I didn't have all the pieces yet. So like some of the pieces would be biased more towards one or the other. Um, or if they weren't going to be biased, I would have to just go back and redo my existing ones anyway to add in the new pieces. So when we add the spider today, that will be all the pieces for the woods. Uh, and there's nothing stopping platform development or whatever. So just gonna change this to this. Okay. So first things first, setting up a test level. This one. So we have this test scene already, this folder, but I don't think any of these work. Right, if I go into test level base, I'm guessing, oh, it does work. It works enough. Oh, I mean, I see crashes in the audio, but for the purpose of this, I don't really care. It's just, it doesn't stop this wall though. If I remember correctly, I'd like comment that out or something. But this is good news is that there's like barely anything to fix. We just have to fix stopping the thorn wall. All right, cool, 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 cool. So, but we want to leave this base level as it is, probably. I mean, I guess we want to fix, if it is the intention, um, if it's the intention, I'm wondering, okay, it just is set up somewhere to spawn the meadow object, like the meadow level object. So I guess that is why there's no like test level stuff being activated. So let's look up test level. Okay, yeah, it's not. It is not a like level. It's a separate thing. And oh, it is here. I guess it's just not being engaged. Let's see where this should happen. Not current document. Entire solution. It seems like this should happen. Oh, but I guess this should actually be in begin. But I don't think there's there's no interface for begin. So let's do this. We'll leave initialize as setup time, but we'll move this death box pausing to begin time. But I guess that means I also need to save this. I guess I don't have to, but I'm gonna. Okay. So code was already there to stop the death box, and it was being called, but it was being called in the wrong order, where it would have said, okay, stop, but then later, when the level actually started, it's like, okay, begin. This is just missing a save. Throw a save in there. Did that work? It did not. Okay. Well, let's figure out why. This will not be in the children. If it's on the GSM, we actually need get component in parent. So I think what was happening there is it wasn't actually getting the test level. So this like conditional operator was just skipping all those calls. How about now? It looks like it's staying in place. Yeah, I think we got him. Great. Okay. I think that's the first. Well, I guess let's add some specific platforms to test with. Trying to see. I guess you want to use like the far, like this. I guess this middle bit, or yeah. I don't know if we're gonna be able to like guaranteed have areas where other platforms won't spawn, but we're gonna try. So I made a test, test platforms parent object to child these things under. We'll give this a grid, and I'm trying to think if there's any reason why I need them to be entities. I don't think so. I only care about them in the whoops. Hold on. Delete this. Because this is test level base. This is where you want to leave test level base. We're going to make a new one for our spiders. So we duplicate test level base, rename it test level wall follow, I guess is more accurate. And then here's now we want to start making custom platforms. And they don't have to be distinct entities. Oops. Oh, I can actually show here. If I go to notes, I have like this whole chart here. One of the things I fixed was sorting. It was kind of ad hoc, willy-nilly. So I broke everything from negative 100 to positive 100. Um, and also left space. For you can see like 6, 7, 8 is where I was like, I need more things. Um, yeah, so I should be able to place anything where I want. And I have a quick reference here of like where everything could be in relation to everything else. So world stuff would typically be at negative 10. But I want these to actually show up in front of the leaves. Let's put them at negative 10. See if I might. And anyway, let's just paint some of them in. It's probably best for them to be square, because that's going to be a harder case anyway, I think. And I think I gotta fill them just so things don't fall through them. But there's no need to, I shouldn't have even bothered like picking corner pieces and stuff. Okay, cool. That's roughly where we want it to be. Then we'll just say da-da. So this is like a decent stress case, I would say. Here's another potentially stressful case. Okay. Oh, why do these not have collision? Because they're on the wrong layer. Set that to world. Okay, yeah, cool, cool, cool. And then we can probably put one more in like the middle here. And this can probably just be an easy case. Maybe you can start here. Oh, let's just make it square. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. Duh. Okay. We should probably move each of these in one just to make sure they're within the screen all the time and stuff. Okay, I think we're good. Call that first subtask done. Yeah, the test level to figure out our wall follow Junkin. These are the same. These are not distinct tasks. Okay, so I believe a prefab already exists for us. Yeah, let's slap him down, see what happens. Nothing. He died immediately. Why? What? Oh, he's on a weird random layer. Let's put him on enemy body. Sure. Still instantly killed. What is killing you? Oh, this probably. Let's get rid of that. Is that killing you? Yeah. But you're also definitely not moving correctly. So it's fragile to the starting position being on the ground, I guess. Which I don't like if I... Oh, not even... This isn't even working. He's just pacing back and forth like a madman. Okay. Why? Nothing... It looks like there's... I truly have no idea. I guess let's look at the script and find out. Oh, wow, 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 wow. It's raycasting against player health. Dude, what is this doing? Huh. Is this being called? Yeah. Where are you, right? So, okay. I think his ground direction is wrong. So if I know this is a problem that I would have to fix, but just to confirm that understanding, if I slap him against a wall here, I think that should work. No. Really? Huh. What if it's the right wall? Does it matter? No. What if I make you bigger? Doesn't matter. Okay. So... I don't know if it's even worth trying to revive this. I think the true path here, like better than raycasting, is just having other colliders. They should be way more easy to visualize. Like they get visualized automatically, they can be tweaked independently. Yeah, I think that's the way. So, what we're gonna do is wall follow rat man here. We're gonna unpack him. Well, are we? I think so. I think we're mostly starting over here. You know, the hope was we could just tweak some stuff, reuse some stuff, but it just doesn't seem to be the case. So we're unpacking this guy. And we're going to get rid of most of this stuff. And then just rebuild it from the... I don't care about these like death particles and stuff. I'll get them from another guy. Oh, wait. Hold on. Oh, he's not going to move. Let me get another one. Good thing I unpacked that. Get out of here, you. We're gonna... I forgot that I set that layer change thing in play mode, so it didn't count. Oh, there we go. Wow, that's not nearly as doomed as I expected it to be. And So what's the problem? So I guess I should just tweak this, but I still do want to switch it like this, whatever the idea is, to use colliders. This is nonsense. Trying to tape over the bugs. Um, okay. So, still gonna unpack this guy. And we'll turn off his damage for now. Just to make things simpler. And we'll give him a new collider. We'll call this wall check parent. Are you flipped? Why are you like this? You really default facing left? That's so annoying. I'm flipping him to the right so I can think of it easier. Oh, I guess I can't. I can't rely on flip. I would have to rely on this to actually, if I would care about like one being his forward, then I have to use scale -1. Anyway, we got our wall check parent. We're gonna give it some children. We want it forward. Under. Is that all I need? I think so. So forward is going to be offset slightly to the right of our guy. Why is that like that? Oh, because he's already -1. Okay. Yeah, I have to do things in. I have to start in 1. Oh well. Fine. Oh. Oh, how annoying. It's fine. Okay. So. He has a forward, which would trigger if he like went like that. Why is he like this? So this hits the forward, and then he switches. Or alternatively, he needs. Well, I guess let me just move him to the other side to get the idea. So the forward never hits, but if we give him like an under, like here, I guess it'd be we want over 50%. Let's copy paste, delete this previous under. Rename this to under. Okay, there's our under. And this tells him he needs to rotate 90 degrees. And start moving down. And it might be a good idea to like snap the position too, but we'll see. So just gonna make two tiny little notifier components that check if they're colliding with the world and just keep track of that for the parent component to care about. So make a new, since we'll have a couple different components here, little components, make a new wall follow thing. Add wall follow parent. I guess it's just wall follow. And then we have wall follow under. And wall follow forward. Okay. As a start, we add a on trigger. I guess I need a start. Private void start, where we'll get my sprite render. And then private on no. Collision enter 2D, or no, on trigger enter 2D. Hello. Yeah. I've been using Unity this whole time, so I was already so deep in it. I don't, I know, I'm too set in my ways to change. I don't know, maybe when I finally get this dang thing done, I probably will do a period of like where I go back to doing game jams and stuff. And for some of those game jams, I'll probably try some other engines. I don't know, I always felt like I'm never gonna be large scale enough for the Unity term stuff to ever affect me, if I'm being real. At least definitely not while I'm doing it part time. So gonna basically just keep track of whether or not a collision is hitting, and then the parent can like ask about this. I just want this all the same junk in the other one. Maybe they should be a base class. They can probably be the same component with like a different. I don't know that they necessarily need a new component. None of those. Oh, I didn't actually put it on the guy. Also, I did not make those triggers either. Why don't you go like here? This is the good space for you to start. Alright. These need to be triggers for starters. And they should be this, so they don't have actual collision. Or no, I guess they do care about the world. They should be just enemy body. Okay. He's following the thing. Oh, but we didn't put those tracking components on there. And we'll see. I don't think there's any... What? What's the deal? Now it's definitely on there. I guess no collision is ever happening. Oh, is this like some random... No, it's on worlds. I thought maybe it was on some other collision layer. What about these guys? They're on enemy body. That should collide with the world. Does the main thing need a rigid body? Or dynamic? He's gonna fall off though, he's gravity. No, I guess not. And I don't even understand what's happening. Oh, this is the knockback trigger. I don't care about you. I care about the parent. Does that make the difference? Oh yeah, there we go. So there's still weird and dumb because he doesn't expect to move by physics, but okay. So tracking system is fine, except it's not. We're not changing the scale. You know what I mean? We're not changing the flipping of these guys so they don't follow like the orientation of the movement. Oh, and I can see with the previous raycast system, I can see him slowly gaining distance. But yeah, so that's the next step here. Let's say here. I think I'm just gonna bite the bullet and get rid of this now. Doesn't seem like it's gonna be necessary. So we'll get rid of wall follow forward and rename wall follow under just like wall follow signal. Because they're doing the exact same thing. Oh, it's still called under in the editor. Yeah. So basically the idea here is when I can see there's no ground under me, or when I can see there's a wall in front of me, those are the best signals as to that I should rotate to follow the wall. So, and if we actually rotate, then it should actually automatically move our guys, right? Because they're children. So, how is this previous setup? It's just calling movement set direction. Okay. So we'll need, I don't know if we need most of this, but we will just need the movement for sure. And here, yeah, we can get it on awake. Okay. And here, we'll get rid of the previous wall follow component. And have him go left at first. Can I say? Oh yeah, okay, he already is. So you should run left and that's it. Yup. He didn't collide with anything, which is weird. Oh, I guess because you're kinematic. Should be dynamic with no gravity. Okay, cool. Except why? Oh, because that used to be forward. We didn't re-add signal. So let's re-add signal to forward. Okay. There we go. Red, red. All right. So that's our start here. We need to also get our private signal or whatever it's called. Yep. M signal under, or I guess forward first, then under. Well, maybe I'll just keep them in array and say forward under. So then I can just say this is get component in children. Then I add a bool to check m blocked false. Public bool is blocked. Set it here. Unset it here. Now this guy can query it. This should be components. Okay. So first check would be if our forward, which is I guess m signal 0, is blocked. We want to rotate 90 degrees counterclockwise. So in this first case, where'd he go? Oh, that wasn't rotation. Is that negative 90? Keep fat fingering 8. Okay, yeah. So let's try transform rotation is equal to, get it first. That's our current rotation. Is quaternion Euler, current 0, 0, current minus 90. I think it's just Euler. Okay, so if run into a wall, climb up it. And then I guess say movement get direction dot vector 2 rotate. Is there no angles between or something? Math f dot rotate vector 3 maybe I have to have it as. Rotate vector coordinate target. Do I even need to do that? Shouldn't it just be if I have -1, it's the negative flipping the signs. So we'll say movement get direction. Is it a vector 2? Yeah. So when we say movement set direction is, if I'm going from -1 to +1, we can say it is dir dot y negative dir dot x. All right. This is not robust. This does not solve the whole problem, but at the very least, I believe this should have him do this first lit upwards. No, it did not. Why is that? Did I write this wrong? No, I don't think so. Oh, this, I bet what it did is it rotated the like wall follow parent object. That's not what we want it to rotate though. We can check that. Did not confirm or deny. Oh, I don't even have this parent component anywhere. So yeah, it doesn't, all right. So, but that is another problem. So we had the parent component there. Um, and then we, not this, this. Also need to not rotate ourselves, but our parent. And also the movement won't be on us either. It will be get component in parent. Okay. So now we should see the same thing we were hoping to see before. Yeah, so he did switch going to up, but not robust, and he's going up forever. Okay, but that's start. Let's start. So goes up. Oops. Let's actually just get it there. So what's going to happen is he's going to go up, up, up until eventually he's not going to see his floor anymore. So that would be else if signals at 1 is blocked, is not blocked. If your bottom isn't blocked, that means you need to, I guess in this case, it would be rotate 90 degrees, right? Yeah, that would put us back that way. But what if it were the other case? Where, like, say he's at 180. Oh, I guess at 180 we have to flip Y. Is that still right? I mean, I guess that, no, 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 no. Yeah, we'll have to, I don't know if I can get there with only, oh yeah, I can, yeah, I can. Because I would want to be upside down in certain cases if I were crawling around the bottom. But in this case where we have under, we just want to go back to 0, so that'd be positive 90. But what, I guess he never will be going the other way. Alright, let's see how that looks. I think that actually is most of what we need. And if it is going to be exactly the same, we can toss that in a helper function. Nope, didn't work. Why is that? Let's step through it. Oh, I guess one thing I noticed there, let's get rid of these. One thing I noticed there is, well, no. I was just wondering why it was not colored, and I thought it might be uninitialized. That's not the case. All right, so he loses that. Oh, I see. So the forward is in the right direction. I think this vector is wrong. Should be the other way, I believe. Probably just have a generalized solution with vectors. Okay. So he flipped, but that did not, hold on. Let's see it happen in slow motion. Basically, he flipped too soon. Or, yeah. I see. We don't actually want these to be, I don't think we actually want these to extend beyond our, like, world collider. I think we want them to actually mimic our world collider and just, like, represent subsections of it. Maybe like very slightly bigger, but that'll be it. So this needs to be moved like in here. Yeah, something like that. And you should be way smaller. And like up here. Let's see about that. That is definitely not what we want. It's not big enough that it is not being triggered even though he's on the ground. What is going on? Yeah, it's just, again, not big enough. I think. Maybe something else is afoot here that I'm not understanding. What is going on? My boy here. I'm gonna have to see this break in action. I get when he's spawning in, he doesn't know what to do because neither side hits. So neither side hits includes this side not hitting, which makes him think he's over the edge. See, that's fine. Oh, I missed. He eventually makes it over, but then he's off. So these need to be boxes. Is that going to make a difference? We can try. I don't know if it necessarily will, though. I think this should be a... Okay. What do we also... Rotation locker? Well, we can't rotation lock him. See, I truly... I have like offset the rotation somehow? I don't understand how this could be worse. Unless enemy body is colliding with itself? Let's check that. No. And it does collide with the world. What is wrong with my mans here? I guess to just rule out some problems, let's just make sure he has a brief delay here. Because his spawn animation has him like scaling in from nothingness, which puts him into a period where none of his conditions are met. Actually, you know what? No. Yeah, let's just rule that out. Let him spawn. There. Wait 2 seconds before you get going. Clearly didn't listen to me at all. Oh, I need to do it the other way. Greater than 0. That made it only work for the first 2 seconds. Alright, he comes in. Oh. I didn't make them a trigger. they're bumping off the ground, or I make one of them a trigger and it's bumping off the ground. Alright. Now our guy's going along. Block, block, blocked. On the under. Now he's gonna say I need to rotate. Which he does like in a slow and messed up way. I don't know if we actually... Do I need this dang rigid body for this to work? I thought you could have like standalone triggers fire collisions, but I guess not. I guess it needs to, if he's having trouble rotating because of just collision, it needs slightly more space in front of it. I guess that time it worked, but we want consistency. Okay. I see. So it triggers too soon. We needed to actually, I think we actually want them to be like all the way at the top. So two things. We want the forward to trigger slightly sooner, and we want the under to trigger slightly later, which we can accomplish just by like this. It has to be like mostly off the thing for it to count. I mean, it basically works on, oh well, I don't know if this is, that's getting in the way there. I guess this needs to be offset more. Yeah, I don't understand why this is taking like a bunch of frames. Yeah, I'm seeing the same weird behavior I was seeing before with my previous implementation. I guess I'm just missing some, like here he just globbed onto this one way. But in general, I'm missing like preciseness. I'm not sure. Maybe it just needs to be like non-physical. I think on kinematic, it won't collide. So what if we... Well, I'm going to watch this hit and see if I can get a better idea. Move him down. Because he's not falling due to gravity, so he's just off the ground. Anyway. So when this hits... Why are there like 4 frames before it does anything? What are you doing? After we get... Beyond that initial bit, it seems like... Yeah, there are still certain corners it's not hitting right. But also, what's the deal with the initial bit? Oh, I remember. It's that dumb delay I just added. It's by making it kinematic, it no longer has like real physics. Because it no longer has real physics, it's relying on these checks to like know it's about to hit a wall. Relying on those checks means if I skip out of those checks too quickly, they won't happen. I mean, this is definitely a little bit simpler than what I had before, but I don't think it's any more consistent. I think what needs to happen is some kind of snapping. Like when this rotation happens, I should scoot him down and snap him to the right. So like this should not be green. It should be red after the rotation. And I should do like a little raycast to figure that out, I think. So I don't think I can count on them necessarily being in like rounded positions. I can't say like round to the nearest u.25. Because who knows where the platforms might spawn in. So I do need to like get. Well, actually, I wonder if with the platform I could do that. Like this, our test platforms happen to be on 0, 0, 0. So what if we say, hey, I snapped you to 8.5, and well, I guess it wouldn't be 8.5. How big are you? He's 0.43 tall, so we would want to snap him to like not .5, but like 6, 7, I guess. Yeah, see, now he's more in the wall, and if we said like 3.25, okay. Yeah, I guess, so I was thinking, okay, I can't know where the platforms are, but I can know that the tiles themselves within the local space of the platform should be a constant offset. So I can try the idea here with these platforms centered at 0. And then I just have to add another line of code that subtracts away the local position of the platform and snap to that instead. So I guess our snap direction depends on, if I'm actually, I would want to make this guy bigger, so I'm just going to make him bigger now. Because I don't want to have to tweak values twice. He should be the size of like other enemies, so we're going to put him at 1.5. Just in case any like fudge factors or whatever. Only happen once. Because like we're going to put the math at the sizes. We'll put 0.45. We'll make it more reasonable. 0.02. 0.85. Does that still fit? Not really. This offset was necessary. There. So we want to snap our guy to the nearest offset that is +1. Or I guess +1 plus half of the, yeah, half of the 0.45 gives you 225. So that's like the half width. And then because it's done one as well, you would offset. We can just draw something to make sure we're getting the right area. So else here, that this would be the signals 1 is blocked. And we don't actually need that. I'm just putting it there to remind myself. So in the case where under is blocked, we want to snap to the ground that we're currently on. So we probably just want a helper function to take care of this. So take this direction. Dang it, I hit some button I didn't mean to hit. Cancel. So if our dir.x is greater than dir.y, and this is absolute value, okay. And we don't need to cache our collider, but in start, we should get it. Because then we can be precise with our height. And then the offset as well. And we'll save this as something. So it would be half height plus collider offset dot y. And then let me just get an idea of what that looks like. Let's just print out some stuff. Tell me, I want to see what its calculated offset is, just to make sure. All right. Doesn't look like it. Oh, it's in a function we never call. Call it all the time. Oh, I wasn't looking at my guy. 0.125. So if it were 2.625, is that right? No. What if it were 2.375? Neither of these seem right. It just seems like it should be 2.5 to be honest. Oh, I guess it is slightly off the ground. Is it 2.4? Really is like some, unless it's off by that. And then one tile difference up here. What is this? It's the same like 3.5, but then minus 3.875 basically. No. Oh, 3.4875, I mean. I think that's just a magic number though, if I'm being honest. I don't think it actually has anything to do with the value I calculated. So it's something I'm missing. Oh, I guess. No, I mean, just trying to. Is one of my concepts for the parameters wrong? Oh, because I would have to multiply by the size. That's why it's times 0.1. So it is right. It isn't a magic number. It makes sense. It just needs to be half height plus collider. I should just treat the half height as 0.5. Oh, it is 0.5 times the size of y. It's just that. Right, right. This is then. Yeah, this just needs to be this. Because it's like a percentage of the original scale. Right? Oh, it might need to be absolute value though. Where'd our guy go? He's doing that weird seizure thing. I made this 1.45. What would be this, I guess? 6.45. It's 5.5 would be closer to the ground. All right. So yeah, basically we want to snap him inwards. We have our like slight offset amount here, whatever. Every time. Because the problem is him getting off the wall, right? If he goes too far into the wall and has to get bumped out by the physics system the next frame, who cares? Or even if he's like slightly into the wall, I don't think it actually matters. So, is there a math function that can just snap to the nearest? I know I could multiply by like 2. Okay, yeah, I just Googled it, and that's all they're saying to do. Is you multiply by 2, then integer divide by 2. Um, so yeah, we would want to just calculate the nearest 0.5 in the direction we care about. So let's restart it so we have him on the ground. Doesn't even start on the ground. Now you're on the ground. Okay. So in this case, we would. Why is the scale 1.3 to? How did that happen? Oh, it's probably coming from the freaking. Oh, it was just the spawn animation. I just got it too quick. Killing me, guy. All right, there. So we'd say 3.5, and then he's up. So we want to move him down another .056, which will just say 3.45. Seems fine. Okay, and then this would be 2.5. Okay, so it is on 0.5. So we take we take our parent transform.parent dot position dot y. There's our current y. Then we do mathf dot round 2 times cur to int, I guess. Yeah, round to int, and then integer divide. Or no, normal divide. Right, 'cause as an example, you could have, if we had like 3.3 there, it would go 3.3 times 2 is 6.6, should round to 7, divided by 2, get you to 3.5. Yeah. But then we also have to apply that offset. So we can say if I wonder if it's worthwhile to just keep track of an orientation. I can always infer the orientation from the rotation, right? I could just say if transform.parent.rotation to Euler.z, I guess Euler. What do you want me to replace this with? Euler anglers, okay. Or if we have any rotation, then we are in the upside down case. The upside down is this. So then we say float new y equals 2 nearest half plus b upside down. If you're upside down, you should go up by your collider offset. Otherwise, you should go in the negative direction. And then we throw that in there. And this needs parentheses, I think. Yep. And then we're going to copy that, but for x here, instead of using the absolute value, we'll check if the rotation is positive, facing down, because that would be the positive rotation. And if you're facing down, then you want to go to the right, because that would be, at least in this orientation, we're going counterclockwise. But if you're not facing down, you would be on the right side, so you want to go into the left, yeah. And then this should be new x. This should act on the x. This should be y. Then we take this new y and put it here, repurpose as new x. Okay. I don't think that's working. This looks wrong. This looks flipped from what I expect. Or it might not just being called at all. Also, there's some random particle system printing. We don't want you to print. Stop. Yeah, are we not calling that anymore? Oh, I called it. Close it. Still calling it. Oh, but I guess it's not printing anything. Put debug log snapping y. Right side or upside down. E upside down. Snapping from cur to new y using collider offset. And just switch the direction here. Okay, let's get some information. I gotta go slower than that. He's getting out of control before I have a chance to see what has gone wrong. Snapping from 2 to... Wait a second. Okay, so he initially snaps down to 2.44, which is like where we want him to be, right? He's like properly in the ground. Yeah. Okay. Then he says, I'm facing down true. Okay, so that's false, so that's why he's moving outwards. So this Euler angles is -90. Why is this true? Right? Am I missing something? Facing down true. But this check says Z rotation greater than 0. Z rotation should be... I guess maybe it's encoding it as something else. It might be like 270. Let's just print it. I don't know. But it seems like the root of the problem is it's the the up and downs check is wrong here, which is causing it to go actually more outwards when it hits the corner, which is just going to cause instability in general. Missed it. So let's clear that so I can actually watch it. Okay, he's on 3.555. He thinks he's upside down. Why? Does this... What is it? I keep getting the... It feels like the... Maybe this needs to be greater than like some epsilon. I can say greater than like 45. Does that make a difference? But in general, these rotation checks are wrong somehow. It's making me think maybe I should just keep like an internal direction. Okay, yeah, this does confirm it was 270. Let's just say greater than 180. Or I guess less than 180. Not quite, friend. Let's see. Let's start over with us stepping through the frames to see what is happening. Okay. Let's get that go. Eh, eh, eh. All right, he switched sides. He's going up, 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 till he hits here, which seems fine. Oops, I accidentally hit the pause, and I missed it. I guess we want to, when this happens, we probably want to nudge him in this direction. So you can say something like vector2 neuter is this. And let's just put it outside, and then we can make this a common path. Actually, no, we can't. Let's see, we just return here. And I don't think I actually want to do that. So let's just do it in here. So keep track of this vector, and then we're going to say transform.parent position plus equals neuter times something, but we'll just not allowed. It's going to say read only, or okay, that's fine. So that nudge will hopefully make it the case that never get dislodged. But that clearly did not work. Okay, that hits, and that hits. He moves up. It's great. All is good with the world. And this hits, moves up. Dang, I think this might be a thing where it's not going to hit when I'm stepping through. Because when I'm stepping through, the delta time is going to be large enough that it will move enough to not hit this issue. Yeah, see, as soon as I stop stepping through and just let it go, it's hitting it all the time. So I'm trying to think how we can, like, I can't even see, it was in like a perfect loop, but once I stop it and try and like see what's happening, it's no longer hitting. So yeah, basically, I think what's happening is when it's allowed to just freely run and each frame is only worth no, we just set weight there, right? Say, hey, if you just switch your corner, don't check your signals again for a tenth of a second. Alright, I think he's looking pretty consistent over there. Oh, no, well, this guy messed it up, but we expected that to be the case. I wonder if there's any way I can have him avoid the leaves. I don't know if there's a collision group set up for that already. Anyway, let's copy our boy here a bunch of times and put him on here. Also put him on here. Here. If their start position is wrong, they get messed up. And they're also checking these one-way platforms, which can get them messed up. But it seems like they rarely, sometimes on the one-way platforms, but I don't really want them to do this on the one-way platforms anyway. And it actually makes sense that the one-way platforms, which can be at like a small angle here, these guys aren't going to snap, but it's still going to be trying to snap to the nearest .5. So yeah, I think this is good so far, but what I really want to do is like put 1,000 rats on here to make sure they're hitting like every possible, variation of corner. And then I will know for sure if it's like solid excluding these. So I wonder, what does my test level guy have access to? Can I turn off those first two platforms? So here I can get my level, which should have already spawned all its stuff. And I can say, hey, level, get platforms or something. Platform data. What does this give me? I don't think this is the right thing to look at. I don't think I have the right things to deal with here. You know what I could do? Just increase the vine. Just to offset it to start way above, right? And that will save in the level, no problem. So let's go to GSM, find our spray shade vine. If I just move it up, I think that'll mean... Yeah, see, this just will never be close enough to activate, so I just need to move it up a little bit more. Cool. So now we have the fix where it should never what's it called? Be bothered. So now we can just like throw 20 guys in here and make sure this system like is going to be fairly consistent. Yeah, it seems like as long as their initial position is good, they're going to be able to figure it out. I guess they should flip X here on when they're going right. It looks pretty consistent to me. I don't see any problems. I don't know how long I need to let it run for it to be like a really fair conclusion though. I don't know. Let's restart it from the beginning. And I think if it's... Oh, there's a guy we lost. Let's figure out why we lost that guy. He's just too far over to the right to begin with, perhaps. Let's see if... Oops, well, not that. Eking him over. Because I don't necessarily need it to be resistant to spawning in arbitrary locations. I know where I'm going to tell him to spawn. So I don't think the limitation of... I don't think the limitation of being sensitive to initial spawn position is a big problem. Okay, I guess something comes to mind is that although this works like well and good for these square guys, the real platforms are going to be these that are like peninsulas, if you know what I mean. They come out the sides. So we do need one additional like note in these guys' behavior. I think to say give them some threshold of absolute value of X. We say if you're either on the far left side of the screen or the far right side of the screen, switch directions. Let's try that. Because at least the simple oh, and I guess also we need to add another case here where the platform isn't centered at 0. We started this as an easy case. So we say like, oh, well, we can trust our snapping because we know the platforms are at 0. But what if they're at like 0, like 3.24779 and 6.29, or I guess 9164. And let's actually move these over a tiny bit to the 4 version of this. Are they separate enough? I think so. Okay, yeah, see, we start getting into some badness, some weird behavior on this upper one. I mean, I don't know if I necessarily want them to transition anyway, but because it's at weird stuff, the snapping is no longer accurate. The snapping might even be counterproductive. So what needs to happen is the snapping needs to take into account like parent position. So let's just give us some more space here. To reduce the instances where they cross over, which isn't really my intention. There, because they already have the weird offset locked in. It doesn't matter if I move their tile locations. Okay, so one of them might not. Yeah, we would probably have to rely on the one where the normal platform doesn't spawn in. It's fine. So, in our wall follow script, this snap position function needs to check the really it should be the parent, I think, if it were going to be representative of real platforms, but just we can say parent or yourself if you don't have one. And I think we only care about the fractional offset, right? So if we say, for example, here, we have this guy that is offset by 4, like 2, 4, and 9, 1 or something. And typically you would say, well, it should be at the dot 5. Which actually looks pretty correct. I think it's... Why does that look correct? I guess 6.9 should be more like 6.6. It should be like in the dead center of the possible values. Because yeah, he didn't move. He's still at the dot 5, so it seems wrong. And I think 11 would also be wrong. Yeah, 11 is too far. So what would happen is we'd have our guy, like, say, right around here. And our thing is at 0.6. So we go 11.5, I guess, minus a 0.1. Or, no, that would only be 11.4. Well, what would it round to? Right, that's what I care about. So we have 11.265. That would round to 11.5. Is that what we want? I don't think so. Maybe we have to apply that offset first. So let's say we apply our offset first. Say, hey, you're actually not on a 0.5. You need to go down by 0.1. That makes it round to 11. And then I guess we would reapply that 0.1 and then reapply our minus. So we get 11.05. Is this like roughly where he's supposed to be? I think so. Yeah, I mean, like, it's a little in the ground, but so is the other stuff. So I guess the signal here our under signal should keep track of this other object. We'll just keep track of the transform. That's all I really care about. I guess in the case where we do our flip, we won't have either colliding. So we can't null this out. We just have to set it here and never unset it. So now we can say private, I guess vector, well, float, like, trying to think of what I specifically want this function to do. I want it to get me one of these positions, but which position is it? I guess 2 nearest half, basically, where I want to subtract this first. Okay. So really, I just want that little bit of, let's say, get platform offset, and we can say if m signals under dot get something, whatever I just said. Oh, I tracked it, but I don't think I put any way to get it. Okay, so signals get other transform, var ot is this. If ot is not null, we want to basically get the distance from the closest, or maybe we just want to get the whole fractional distance. Let's see if we do it again with fractional. Does it make sense? We put our guy back to our like arbitrary spot, like say here. And this is 6.6. Wait, yeah, it would be 0.5. Yeah. You don't want to jump over a whole 0.5. So if OT on all, yeah, I guess you need to be Y, be get Y, or I guess be use Y. Check equal to be use Y, ot.transform.y, else ot.transform.x. Oh, I guess position. And then trying to think. If it's under, say like 0.4, then I would want it to be negative. So in our example case, it's 0.6. And that's negative, so the other one would be positive. Okay, so we just do our, I guess we do that same, we should even like make a function to float round to half. So we basically do check round is round to half, check. And then we do check round minus check is the offset. And in the case where you have nothing, just give them 0. You tried. There's nothing you can do. Okay. So we say cur plus get platform offset. True for y. False here for x. I think that's what we want. I'm not 100% sure. We want to just run it and see what happens. This is the guy we care about right here. He's too far up. Let's move him down. Give him at least a good starting point. Give him a chance. Whatever just happened was wrong. Wow, some of that stuff is very wrong. You just like scooted to the end. Yeah, something's wrong here. Oh, right. I guess we have to apply this again. Call this platform offset, and then we'll have a general offset. Call it full offset. Then throw full offset at this, platform offset at this. See how that works out. He had a weird start, but now he's coming along just fine. But he hasn't really, this will be the test here. This is not what we want, for sure. The X offset is definitely wrong here. Oh, I guess I didn't actually also apply the same logic to X. I think there's probably a way to make this a common code path so I don't have to copy paste, but I don't want to worry about that right now. I'll clean that up after. I think there's still a decent chance this is wrong, but we want to at least fix the known issue before we conclude that. This is not what we want. Let's move him over here. Platform spawn where we wanted to test. Looks fine there on the up. Looks fine here. Okay, now his left is even more wrong. But it seems like the other directions are right. I guess we don't know about upside down. It might be that this should not... Oh yeah, because if we're already applying signage here, this can just be abs, I think. We'll see if that's the case. Okay, he had a weird start, but he'll figure it out probably. No, he has not figured it. Oh, well, his initial mess up, his initial figuring it out got his forward always inside the thing, which is not gonna. Well, maybe not. Are you messed up? Here. Shh. There we go. Got him on the. Oh no, there is something wrong. We do care about that being negative. Maybe it just needs to go the other way in the X direction. Actually, it probably also matters what side of the screen you're on. If we're just subtracting positions, right? Or no. A negative will always be like left is always going to be negative. It doesn't matter if it's negative minus negative, it'll be a bigger negative. Okay, so abs is not the answer. What if I just draw this? I'd like to see. Ooh, 2479 is probably like a really. Well, no, yeah, let's re-roll it. Let's do a couple things. Let's get rid of all these guys. So we only have one rat printing. It'll be the rat we care about. Let's get him at a good start position. And then we will see what kind of numbers we're getting. Dang, the platform spawned here. Alright, hold on. Oh, again, bad luck. Can move him over in time, hopefully. Oh, I missed it. You put him back on track and see if I can. Okay, yeah. So that has the bad snaps. That's what I want to see. Facing down, true. Snapping from 6 to 6.5 to 6.3. And I guess we should have gone the other way, is the conclusion here. So like it would be 6.8-ish. Yeah. Okay. We're facing down. Yeah, full offset should be to the right. So this is correct. This bit of it is right. Which means, let's get some additional information here. Say using this and this. All right. And let's re-roll it. So two possibilities, either the signage is messed up or the X offset calculation is messed up such that it's producing such a big X offset, a negative one, that it is overwhelming the other bit. Okay, stop, clear. Try and get on a good track again. Okay, there, down, clear. Oh, dang it, I didn't save this. I'm not going to get my extra logging. We can still watch this happen. Oh wait, I did get my extra log. I just only put it in the X case. Yeah, and it looks like the negative thing is what is happening. What if... So... I think... Say... Result equals this. Return B use Y, result, else negative result. Let's see if this gets closer to what we want by just flipping the result sign in the X case. All right, here comes our guy. Sure he's... Yeah, I moved him down too much, so he overcorrected and stuff, but it's fine. Oh, this is too much. So this calculation is definitely wrong. It's using a whole 0.2479. Because that's the difference to the nearest 0.5, which would be below it. I don't get why this is... Am I getting like a delta, maybe? So, just to verify this, it would be 4.279 times 2 gives me like 8.49, which is going to go down to 8, 4 down to 4. So then it's like, yeah, you're off by 0.24. I guess trying to think, it's not, is 0.25 acceptable? I don't think so. It really should be on 0.5. I don't want to like find some collection of magic numbers that works for the test level. I want to like figure out what's wrong here with the math. Oh, I just lost my guy, but maybe I need to draw it. So if I have this at 0, and we'll say it's by 1, and this is 0.5, great, we're happy. 0.5. But this is 0, and this is our center at negative 0.24, we'll say. And this is still 0.5. So it's 0. Previously, where it would be 0.5, it now is negative 0.74, right? I don't know if I think maybe this isn't right. Let's return back to the math with not flipping the y and see if it makes more sense to us. In the wrong place, bud. Okay, this seems fine. Also fine. It's this that has the problem. So, in the previous one, ooh, we said, okay, if we just flip this, we should be good. So we said if we add 2479, does that put us in the right spot? So we can check that. So it's like 0.3, it's close enough, so it'd be 5479. Not really, because we would need to go 2 as well, right? This just puts us, this is where we would spawn by default. This is without applying the platform offset. But then I think if I apply another 2479, it's what we were seeing, it was too much inside the wall. So 5479 plus 2479 gives me 7, 8, goes up to 9. I'm just going to add it. What am I doing? No, this actually seems right? So why? So it's not that Y should be flipped. It's that this specific platform offset should be flipped. But it seems like it is being flipped. Because basically what's happening is this is negative, this is positive. You get like something like 0.19. That negative 0.19 is then just flipped to positive 0.19. Right? Is that where you're going to snap to? Yeah, so here you snap there again. Okay, so here you snapped. Ends up being like 2.6 in the... Actually is the right direction. Right? Oh, it's not going to snap again. Something about the signs I'm getting wrong here. I guess it matters. It matters if you're on the left edge or the right edge, which is what keeping the sign of this is supposed to represent. So I guess maybe it's just the collider offset that should care about this. Because if we keep the sign in platform offset, if we keep it, then flipping it twice is wrong. Because it's already appropriately flipped. Okay, finally he made his way through. Okay. Snap. Ah, no, that's... How did that make no difference? Did I not save? I think I might not have saved. Where's our rat? Oh, I see him. Get over here. Still, no, it makes no difference. I guess Maybe it is supposed to be abs. Or not necessarily abs, but just like the lower of these two. Is that right? Why don't you like this? Oh. Because thinking about it, if the platform is offset by like 0.24, let's say, right? Both the left side and the right side are offset by 0.24. I don't see why it should necessarily be different. It's just the like the fudge factor. All right, let's get you fixed. What's the problem? Nope. Okay, whatever I did there was abs is not the way. This is not it. Just good. It's definitely not the lower of the two, but is it normal abs? Why are you being so uncooperative? What? Something. Okay, it's not this. Yeah, we were way closer before. I feel like I hate this finicky stuff. I feel like there's something I'm missing. I just need to take a step back. Okay. So let's follow his progress here. He's not upside down, correct. And he's snapping from like 10.9 to 11.4. Oh, okay, because that's not printing everything. It's doing the same shit. It'll be interesting as a check here. Okay, still wrong, but let's go to this guy's parent. And let's say actually you can go beyond the 0.5, or this one. There, 4. I guess if we round down, we want negative. If we round up, we want positive. Which that should be what happens here. But wait, maybe, do we want that flipped? Maybe we do. For X, and I'm worried that Y isn't even like necessarily more correct. It's just an easier test case. Okay, snap in. Yeah, it's just too much. I guess like why is it too much is the question then. So how much is he off by? He's on 10.43. If we were to move him 2.479 to the left, that gives us 10.1821. Oh, whoops, I used the wrong. I used the wrong thing. It's negative. So it's this number. And the number is -0.2479. I'll put him at this. No, that ain't it. What if it's times 2? 19165. This would be the baseline of 18. That's where we want him to be, I think. But I guess I'm confused why we can't get him there. What if we applied no offset? Then he'd be trying. Well, where is he now? He's on this 0.18, so he'd be like just trying to snap to -18. Yeah, so that. The reason that's off is because we need a little bit. Oh, you know what I think it is? I think we have the signage right, but wouldn't half the impact be borne by each side of being in the wrong position? Maybe? I mean, it'll be obvious if it's wrong. Nice. Oh, he like. I don't know, he's like weirdly on a thing and then not. Yeah, I don't know. I can't. I cannot explain my boy's behavior here. And I don't. I wonder if it would be feasible just to snap everything to .5. What if I wonder, you know what I mean? Because, like, yeah, I guess positions of the platforms will be arbitrary, but what if I say, like, hey, yeah, wiggle up to the nearest .5? It would have to move, in the worst case, the most amount of movement is .249. Is .249 really going to break my algorithms? I don't think so. And I do think this snapping behavior is key to getting it to be consistent. So what if I said, okay, you randomly spawn 4.79, but that's actually not cool. You have to go to 4.6.5. If you do go to 4.6.5, do we now get, that's not 0, 0, but do we now get correct snapping out of our boy here? Well, not if he's going to spawn in the middle of something else. Pretty much. I think I mean, I might take a deeper look at this offline to try and get an idea of where exactly it's going wrong and see if I can iron out the problems. But like, when I have a mitigation available to me as simple as, hey, nudge stuff in as at most 2.49 units. Also, I'm thinking I've been able to iron out most of my tile map tearing problems by putting all my tile sets in a sprite atlas. But I think rounding to a discrete position should also help the tile-based platforms tear less. So it could be a win-win. you know, I mean, I'm to be honest, I'm taking a mitigation for a bug that I don't have the root cause on and calling it a feature. But so I only have a, you know, finite amount of time to figure this out, so I'm like, whatever. We have our offset boys here. I mean, these guys are covered up, they got intersected with. But these guys at least look pretty consistent to me. Yeah, okay. Definitely didn't get as far. I was hoping this would be easier. I did, well, I'm gonna put it half done. You know, I think it was like one of the first like 5 or 10 streams I did was trying to get this behavior that resulted in the previous raycast script. So I was hoping there would be something obviously stupid in there. Or that like switching to this new signal method that I had used for other things might grant me some more consistency. I don't think it really had to do with using colliders versus raycast. I guess that's functionally equivalent with the exception of colliders being easier to debug and easier to visualize. But it was still, in those harder cases, getting into the same buggy behavior I was seeing before, where they get into like a tumble of rotation in a row, and sometimes can get dislodged from their platform. But it seems like implementing those mitigations of snapping and putting a brief delay on their ability to change direction. Both those things seem to have made it consistent, at least in the to the extent that the snapping is correct. And I guess we do have this limitation at this point that for the snapping to actually work correctly, you need platforms to themselves be snapped to a multiple of 0.5, otherwise we're not like snapping to the same geometry or whatever. But you know, that actually doesn't, you know, sometimes you're like, oh great, this is so easy to fix. Sometimes you're like, ah, this is like kind of a stupid fix, I'm not super happy with it. And this is definitely in that territory of snapping the platforms to that .5 is a little bit of a stupid fix, but it's the sort of level of no bad consequences I can think of, relatively painless stupid fix that I don't feel that bad about using. Maybe that'll come to bite me in the ass later, but like I was talking about before, it might also provide benefits to reduce tile map tearing. It was actually something on my list to consider trying out in the near future to see if that can further clamp down on that tile map tearing. Oh man, I got the starting to get much better on the spacing of this. It had been a while since I fought this guy, and this guy definitely is way too strong, way too difficult. The fact that you have to like perfectly space that dash is so punishing, and especially this pattern here where it's like 2 undashable spikes in a row. Oh my god, and then I got clipped in the back and messed up my attack opportunity. I got him. Yeah, this boss is way too hard for a boss of the first place. I think the B-boss, while there's more going on, is easier. Oh no, and as I say that I get smacked by bees. Let's see if there's any healing in the shop to extend this last run a little bit. Ah, grapes. Grapes and triple jump. Hopefully I can make it to the end with triple jump. I got triple jump, I got time stop. Dang, I really like these trees a lot more than the Tetris clouds. If anyone's got ideas for some background parallax to replace those Tetris clouds in the first level, let me know for sure. Because I'm trying to think of something good to replace those with. Something to get that meadow background on the same level of the woods. I think I also might cut this rain from the woods. I think two possibilities. I might just replace it with nothing. Just have the trees be the background and not have a background particle effect. Or I might try to do just a little bit, probably pretty modest, since there's already a lot of like leaf particles going around anyway. Do some falling leaves in the background. I think that could look cool if they are like weaving, if like the particle systems as a whole are properly weaving in and out of the background layers. Which it technically is doing. But it's just pretty difficult to notice for the rain. I'm gonna see if there's any more healing in this shop. Give me a chance against the B-boss. Yeah, we can get this and this. I don't actually want to decrease the strength of gravity. That's not a good thing. Most of these items are getting cut. We're cutting down to way fewer items, but only interesting items. Like none of that like 10% move speed if you're wearing a hat and you'd gotten hit in the past X seconds or whatever. Alright, let's see if we can get our B-boss dead here. I don't know if I've actually gotten this lady killed in a full game yet. Oh, I messed that up so bad. I need to be more patient, I think. And this guy is probably also too hard for just being the second level, but it needs polish. This is the first boss I did, so I don't. There are things I could, like I learned from doing the other ones. Oh my god, I took every possible hit. I don't think I'm killing the B-boss this time, folks. Oh, that's just impatience on that time stop. I could have set up the perfect shot there. Okay, wait for the. Oh, I have to get out of this wall. Now. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Oh, I'm so dumb. I wanted the time stop there, and I dashed, and I was about to dash into the thorns, and then I died to the bee attack. Alright, so yeah. Unfortunately got hung up on the wall hugging code. I think the combination of fixes I came up with, it's probably in a good enough state to proceed. I'll probably do this stuff offline in the coming week, along with continuing on the visual improvements. And yeah, we're gonna switch these guys out to spiders. Here I can show it. I guess I can show all this stuff. Move into GameIcons.net vector, just like cleaner than these. I like these pixel art items. They look decent, but I think they would just be a better match for a different game. I think these vectors from GameIcons.net are a better match for the simplicity and are just like cleaner overall. Here's the woods. So yeah, the wall follows aren't going to be blue rats. They're going to be these spider boys. We're also going to add trees, a combination of decor trees and slightly different evil trees here, where the evil trees kind of hide in plain sight among the decor trees. And this bee queen and this big spider are going to be our two woods bosses. So yeah, I don't know. Decent progress on the behavior of this spider enemy today. Definitely not as good as the bee last week. Little disappointing, but you know, I've definitely had worse sessions of development progress, so I'm not gonna be too hard on myself. The work will continue. I will definitely have the spiders fully realized and maybe some visual improvements too when I stream again.